Hello, I'm Sean Lambert, and welcome back to my little YouTube channel. Now, normally I've been making just cracking straight into it kind of gameplay games, but I've been thinking about having some one-off session games where I will make just a quick little video where it's kind of self-contained and we're not on these monster campaigns. So I've been looking at a list of 6 games that hopefully would fit that criteria, and I'm just going to go through them one by one, talk about what interests me about them and where they could possibly fit in the channel. So overall, the plan is to start adding a couple of more games in within the next couple of weeks. And of this list, the most likely two that I'm going to start with are Hearts of Iron and Civil War. But without further ado, let's just look at some of these games. So the first one here, Call to Arms, Gates of Hell, is a very strict, like RTS with a lot of low-level micro. So it's not like a Company Heroes type game. I'll show the store page. It's not like a Company Heroes type game where you're only controlling squads. You can actually go down to the individual level, and in fact, you can go to a third-person viewpoint and literally shoot the rifle of a rifleman if you wanted to, or drive a tank around. So you could play it like that, and in some cases you have to, but it is still an RTS, so you still have to win a tactical battle. It is extremely difficult, and I'm really just scratching the surface on it, but the screenshots make you think that yeah, okay, maybe these are just fake. But no, the game actually does kind of play like the screenshots. Like, you are often zoomed pretty far in because you need to see, like in this screenshot here, you would need to see if you can see the enemy tank. So a lot of the time you do end up using the third-person perspectives or these like very cinematic-looking perspectives. So it is a visually very good game. Now, the downside is that the gameplay is kind of on the slow side for an RTS. Not necessarily in APM, you still need decent APM, but you are often having to dig your men in so that they don't get immediately overrun by an enemy counterattack. And you do have to kind of play things slow. You can't just rush in and expect your men to survive. If you just charge the enemy lines, you just die, and then mission's over. So, yeah, it's a great game from that perspective of being able to play more, not realistic, but slower, without getting punished for it. So it's a very fun game. The only issue is I've just started to play it. I've owned it for a long time, but when I got my new computer, I was just able to start playing it. So I'm definitely going to make a video for it, but I think I got to grind a little bit further in the dynamic campaign to get to a point where there's more interesting stuff. The next one is AGOD's Civil War II, and this one's an older game from back before they were swallowed up. But it's a great game. I've played it, it says here 33 hours, but I think I played it once before it was on Steam. So it is a really interesting game because it's very much a strategic game. You don't control the battles. You don't have to worry about any of that. It's much more like War in the East in that regard, so more of a traditional war game. And this is kind of the max that a battle can look like. This is the maximum amount of control you have. So it's pretty cool, don't get me wrong, but The game is not necessarily about the battles. What the game is about designing your divisions. So you can see here in this picture, like, you have all these different units that are in this division, and that kind of goes up and gives you buffs and debuffs based on your commander. You really want powerful divisions if you can get them, and you don't want to have any of these kind of things where you have just a single single regiment doing basically nothing. Like, this is not adding as much combat power as it would if it was integrated into a division. So it's really interesting from that perspective, and you're obviously limited by the economy. So even though you want a ton of really good divisions, sometimes you have to have some crappy divisions in your army so that you survive. But it's a really, really interesting game. And you can play through a campaign, relatively quickly. Like, I would say 15, 20 hours, you could play the whole grand campaign, no problem. So I think it's definitely going to be on the list. All right, so the next four are all very much kind of less wargamey. Even Hearts of Iron really isn't as wargamey as it could be, because it's real time. So Distant Worlds is a space game, 4X basically, where the part of the game that interests me a lot is, you probably can't see it on this screen, but has a really great ship designer, has a lot of little economic stuff that really I love. Like trying to manage your trade and your resources. Has a whole list of resources that you have to manage. The only downside is, as you can kind of see in these screenshots, is it's a little hard to read in a video, especially if you're watching it on your phone or something. So it can be a little tricky. I'm not exactly sure I'm going to make videos of this, but I think what could be cool is just have battles. So that's kind of the direction I'm heading there. I'll just quickly go through the last three. Everyone probably knows about Hearts of Iron. This is a game I've played a lot of, obviously, but it's also not a great game for me to make videos of because they require a lot of time investment. And I will already tell you that I just am not good enough at video games in general. I don't put enough time in to be able to make the kind of content that a lot of people make for Hearts of Iron, like the exploit videos or the challenge videos. I'm just not willing to spend enough time to play that way. And I'm definitely never going to play it multiplayer because that looks like absolute hell. Same with Stellaris. I haven't even installed it. I bought it. I haven't even actually played it. I really want to, but I'm just not sure where it's going to fit in. Like, obviously on the screenshots and pictures, and I've heard it's a great game. It looks really good. But knowing Paradox, it probably has a bit of a learning curve, so I'm thinking this one is the furthest away from being ready to play. So, it's on the list, but it's going to be far future, like maybe next year. I got to learn it more. So with UBOAT, the last one on the list, this one's also pretty close to being ready, but it's in the same situation as Gates of Hell, where I have to get a little bit further in the campaign. Again, it's a dynamic campaign, just like Gates of Hell. And I love submarine games, so it's definitely going to be displayed. But currently, my gameplay kind of looks like this. I don't know if that would interest people, but it's really just sinking merchant vessels. Early war U-boating is pretty damn easy, I gotta admit. Even taking on convoys and stuff is shockingly easy. They don't hunt you that effectively yet. So I'm hoping later in the campaign that when the hunts get more interesting, the videos will be more feasible or more possible to be exciting. I don't think it's all that interesting to watch someone just commit war crimes. So anyways, that's the list of these. The ones that I'm probably going to make a video of first would be Hearts of Iron and Civil War, followed by Gates of Hell. But Gates of Hell does need a little more time in the oven just to grind it out, and so I don't look like a total noob playing it. I don't care if I look like a total noob, because obviously that's kind of the theme of the channel, is me struggling through games that are too hard for me. But I definitely want to try a couple of games that I know a little bit better, so maybe I can make shorter videos, not me like staring at rules and stuff. But I think overall on the channel that having a balance of games where I am at least acquainted with it and know a little bit more about it, and the games where I'm still in struggle city, could be really entertaining for people. And the overall goal is to have a mix of the longer form campaign videos and some shorter, more accessible videos, so that hopefully I could grow the channel, and then maybe those people could also watch the longer ones once they realize, oh, the wargaming's about campaigns. The best part of wargaming is playing these long, drawn-out campaigns where the strategy is paramount to everything. So, anyways, that's basically where we're going. If you have any thoughts on any of these games or any others that you think would be interesting, let me know. Otherwise, if you don't care or you don't want to see any of these, I don't care. I'm going to do them anyways. See ya.